Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Wynn and this is Critical Failure. So, to continue on with the Norse gods and such, this video will be on Freya. I say she's going to be lawful neutral, but of course you guys can always change things as you wish. Something that I didn't add in my past videos is that all these gods and goddesses have polymorph. I didn't really think about it until Loki. But they have the ability to transform into really anything they want, as most gods have the ability. But I would usually stick them to their like a liked form of a humanoid of your description, because honestly everyone imagines a god differently. So that was just something I wanted to clear up. So Freya, her domains that I'm giving her are beauty, fertility, sex, gold, something called Seether or Satyr, which is basically magic, war and death. I'll describe more of war and death later and how it counteracts with what I'm specifically having her as. But her AC for her first form, because I'm making a second form for this one, is a 24. She is a size medium, and she has an average HP count of 400, so if you just times that by 2, because it's average is like the half, it would be 800 if you were to roll max on it, her hit die, which would be like 40 d20 if I'm correct. She has a base speed, walking speed of 40, and a base flying speed of 50. She has a strength of 18, so that'd be a +4. She has a dexterity of 22, which is a +6. A constitution of 28, so that would be a +9. An intelligence of 26, so that'd be a +8. A wisdom of 24, so that'd be a +7. And a charisma of 30, which would be a +10. Now she has a proficiency bonus of +10, and her skills that she is proficient in are persuasion, performance, arcana, perception, and acrobatics. Another thing that I saw, because I've been seeing and reading a lot of former D&D editions, is if you look at the deities and demigods from, I think it's Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, they have a thing called Lesser God and Greater God. I kind of gave it 3 different statuses of like minor, lesser, and then greater. Like minor gods have like a +8 usually, lesser have a +10, and greater have a +12. Now lesser gods are more like available, so there's a lot of these gods gonna have a +10. I'm only having like maybe, I would say 4 gods, maybe 5 have a +12, because those are the main gods, I would say, even though they're all kind of main. But that's just something I wanted to also clear up, because I just thought of that. But she has only 1 damage resistance, that's acid. She has several damage immunities, which are poison, fire, cold, necrotic, radiant force, psychic, thunder, and lightning. And she has immunity to piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning of non-magical weapons. And she has 1 vulnerability of weapon type that I'm making up personally, and that's mithril, even though that's probably been in D&D forever. I don't see it standardized, so that's something that I'm having in there. Now, if you want to take something away out of what she's actually immune to, like say psychic, because not really anything does psychic, you could easily just replace mithril with psychic. Even though these guys are actually mortal, these guys, the reason why I'm like having them as so immune to things is because they're supposed to be killed in the Ragnarok. So that's what I kind of have them planned as. And of course there's going to be players, if you're doing like an evil campaign, that want to like kill all the gods, or at least try to, they're going to try and kill these guys, and of course it's going to be a huge problem for them. So that's what I would say, is this is why they're almost impossible to kill. They're supposed to be killed in a specific time, and if you kill them early, well, you kill them early. So she has condition immunities, and that's slow, paralysis, so paralyzed, frightened and sleep. Frightened and slowed mostly because she's a god of war and death, and she just I just don't see her being able to be put to sleep. And she has true sight up to 60 feet and dark vision up to 120 feet. Like I said in my last video, I'm giving them a little bit of like humanistic, I guess, natures. She has magic resistance, to where she has advantage on spells and other magical effects. So I'm going to continue to stick with the slow spell. Basically, if you're trying to cast a slow spell on her and act like she's not immune to it, she would have advantage on the saving throw against that. So if you did something like blindness deafness, which she can be blinded and deafened, she would have advantage on those saves. She has something called magic weapon, so anything that she uses as a weapon is considered magical, or at least her weapons are considered magical. And she has legendary resistance, which can be used 3 times a day, so if she fails a save, she can automatically pass it, which she will be doing that to her advantage, so you can best count on that. And she has a specific ability called Aura of Peace. Pardon. But essentially any enemies within, I think it's 60 feet? Yeah, 60 feet of her must make a wisdom save of DC 19 or become peaceful, and if they save against it, they are like resistant to it for a day. And if they don't, I should have wrote this down, but they are essentially under her control for that day also. For 24 hours, I should say, because it sounds like it's only for the remainder of the day. Now, her actions. She has a spear that does 2d8 piercing damage, plus strength, which her strength is +4, and it also deals 3d6 force damage. So that's a lot of damage. She has a shield that she carries in her left hand, which, imagine like an Athena thing, like a picture, like I would, like, since she's usually born, like it says that she's born in full warrior gear, I would assume that she has a spear also, I mean a shield, but she can use that as a 1d6 bludgeoning attack, and both attacks have a +14 to hit. And she has something called the Healer's Pact, to where all allies that she can see get 2d10 +7 HP per turn. So her turn, they get healed. The next person's turn, they get healed. The next person, etc., etc. And then as a bonus action, because she only has 2 actions that she can actually do per turn, she has something called I think it's Ravenous Gaze, to where essentially this is more turning into her like war goddess thing, and this is just a sneak peek. Essentially, her face and her body start altering and growing into a size larger, or at least it's an illusion of it, and she becomes like more hideous and stuff like that, more like a demon-esque type of thing. Like, imagine an Oni mask. And she looks kind of like that. She has 4 arms, even though it's like she doesn't have anything else to attack with. She just has 4 arms. She still maintains the same amount of actions and her weapons and stuff like that, but she just grows a size larger and turns hideously ugly with now 4 arms. And any enemy that sees her within 120 feet must make a wisdom save of DC 17, or essentially turn sides and become afraid of her. And they start attacking their allies in hopes of redemption, so they don't become slaughtered by Freya, which you'll find out is very unlikely to happen, but it's very much a mind game that she's trying to play. And of course, any character that can't be frightened, this is completely immune to them, because this is essentially a frightened check. So yeah. She has 3 legendary actions that she can do. 2 are, actually no, 1 costs 2 actions, 1 costs 1 action, and 1 costs 3. So you can only really do a combo unless you do, 2 different combos. One's called Queen's Orders, that's the one that takes 2 actions, and she can summon 20d12 Einherjar. At least I hope I'm saying that right. And that's essentially like if you want to do minion stuff or something like the minions stuff to where they have like 1 HP. I would change it to 20 because they're more hardy, but essentially they're still able to be one-shotted if you're like fighting her at a later level, like 18, 19, or 20. She has another ability called Queen's Wrath, which is 1 action, and all her Einherjar essentially get the ability to crit on any guaranteed hit up to 1 round, so it's for that round, and they also get 5 temporary hit points for 60 seconds or 1 minute. So once that disappears, and then her last one, which has a recharge rate of 6, essentially after all of her enemies drop to a quarter health, she will do like a boosted aura of peace, basically, and it, instead of 60 feet, it's rangeless, and after nearly killing all of her enemies, so quarter health, she will do her aura of peace, and they have to make a larger wisdom DC save of 24. If they fail, then they're completely pacified. They're not on her side or anything, they're just pacified. Like, she refuses to try and murder because she doesn't like her like the fact that she's a war goddess or death goddess. Like, she just doesn't like that. Now I'm going to be making another side of this to where if like people refuse to give up, she will absolutely murder them, turning into this being. So that's phase 1. If you think of Dark Souls, like many of the like bosses there have phases, so like imagine that. So yeah, and then she has a bio for this section, and essentially she lets her followers do a lot of like fighting and stuff like that for her, but she doesn't really approve of that as much. But they usually end up having sex, and she's, I would say, 6 to 8 feet tall, and she's like very well kept in terms of like beauty and stuff like that. She's well rounded, well proportioned. She has beautiful porcelain looking skin, long black hair that's usually in like a braid or down with like ringlets in it. She's usually in a white gown. That's what I imagine her in, and the white gown has like silver and gold lined inside of it with Norse runes of like saying luck and stuff like that. Almost dropped my phone there. And instead of fighting, she likes trying to persuade or use her sexual nature and stuff like that to get out of fighting, because she just hates it that much. And if that fails, then she'll fight, but usually they fail that because really high DC saves. But her followers are usually clerics, sex addicts, mothers, people who are about to be mothers, women in general, grave robbers, mostly because of like the death aspect, guards, wizards because of magic aspect, anyone who really wants to have kids, so like family people. It's mostly on her good side, but not many people follow her for her war side and death. So yeah, that's Freya part 1, essentially. Phase 1, I guess I can call it. That's more love goddess than I'm gonna kill you type of goddess. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing phase 2 on her here soon, and yeah, that's pretty much it that I can think of for her. But please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please tell us in the doobly-doo what you guys would like to see us do next. I'm going to be doing another video here. Wow, that was very, very inaccurate. But I'm going to be doing another video here soon, hopefully, and posting that right after this one. Go follow our Instagram channel, Instagram page. excuse me, critical dot failure. I'm about to do my monster stuff because I've been busy so much this past few weeks. I'm gonna unveil that maybe today. That might be what the video is. And I'm going to be doing something on my Homebrew Demon Lord, and I might try and ask AJ Pick about it beforehand, far before I do anything on that specifically. So I want to see what another like Dungeon Master thinks of it. I'm going to talk to Ed and have him run through it, see what he likes about it. But yeah, I'm going to include other people on my Demon Prince, so, or Demon Lord I should say. So yeah, you guys go watch AJ's videos. He does a lot of good stuff on his channel. But yeah, see you guys.